Race number 5, it is Australia, race number 11 for our Singapore viewers, and I'm really intrigued about this race. There's some of the runners coming from the 3-year-old Magic Millions, and of course, Let It Slip, the winner of that race.
Yeah, at the top of the weights here with 59, rightly so, after that outstanding win in the Magic Millions. She was just superb there, wasn't she? We'll have a look at that replay from Pinjarra on the 7th of February.
Back on the inside is Glitterbell. Behind it is Let It Slip. To the outside is the Cobbler. In the straight, Lucky Street is only just in front, but joined by Rees Rocket on the outside. It's Dynamite joined in. Let It Slip is bursting into the clear as well. Inside the 150, it's Rees Rocket. Let It Slip is starting to storm home though. Let It Slip has raced up to Rees Rocket. Let It Slip takes the lead. The Cobbler late, but Let It Slip has won. Let It Slip.
Super performance from her, wasn't it? I know she's got to carry the 57 here with the claim to Clint Johnston Porter, but the way that she attacked the line there, of course, the listed Placid Arc winner as well. She's not much to look at. She's a very small filly, this one, but got a lot of class about her. And if there's speed on in this race, she can run on and attack the line strongly. I'm just not sure she's going to get it the way that she wants, and the race is going to plan out how she wants.
I think she might get it soft in behind the leaders. I think they'll take a sit with her with the 59. They won't want to take it to the lead. The interesting one that'll definitely be running on out of the Magic Millions as well, Glitterbell, ran on and could have been in the finish there last start in the Magic Millions. A little bit unlucky there, but gets the weight relief here. Light Up the Sky last start was super behind Black Dynamite and the really good filly Spirit Bird. Those form lines will hold up, I think, as well later on in the day.
Well, as you mentioned, Glitterbell, a winner 2 starts ago at Ascot over the 1,400 metres, was only beaten a length and a half by Let It Slip. Gets a 3 kilo swing here from barrier 5. Has raced forward as well, and that could be the advantage. There's not a lot of leaders in this race, apart from probably Castle Queen, but the way conditions are going to be, I think if you can sit closer to the speed, you'll be suited. So I think Glitterbell is certainly probably the one to beat in this race. And you mentioned Light Up the Sky as well, only 2 lengths to Black Dynamite. The start before a length to the Blue Nipper as well, so the form lines are really strong. I agree with you there. I think we'll see a very good performance. So let's take a look at the selections now. I'm going to go with number 6 Glitterbell, from 1 Let It Slip, 8 Light Up the Sky, and 5 Diamond Tonique.
Yeah, I've gone a similar way. I've got Glitterbell on top as well. The weight swing's just too hard to ignore. From Let It Slip, number 1, from 4 Dark Love, and 9 Sporting Image.
Race 6 is Australia, race number 13 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,600 metres. I know it's not a listed event, but for mine, this is the race of the day.
Yeah, there's some really handy competitors in here. Eurosun is definitely 4 wide last start. Probably should have won, ran second, was super to the line all the way. Let's have a look at that replay.
Around the bend they swing. Cool Fox on the outside of Garcia. Joining in Moment of Love. Eurosun the outside. Poonamoo the Greys putting in a big run down the centre. Socially Unique trying to weave clear. Counter Gap got held up, but Poonamoo swept to the front now from Eurosun. Then Van Ripper, but Poonamoo stretching out beautifully is racing away from Eurosun and Socially Unique.
It was a massive performance here by Eurosun. It was the only concern going into the race was the barrier and where it was going to end up, whether it was 3 or 4 wide, and it was 4 wide in the end, which was the difference. This horse knows how to run second. It is an absolute master of it. 16 attempts for 7 seconds. Hasn't won now for 514 days, but drought breaker is on young Aaron Mitchell. So I've no doubt that if Eurosun can get a nice run, it can certainly win this race. But it's going to come up against some pretty tough competition. Socially Unique has been another runner that's been in good form.
Socially Unique, probably a good thing, licked in the same race last start. Up the straight, just found bums and decided to finish off tenaciously as well, even with that hindrance. Paris Dream as well is also another one. Ran really, should have gone a lot closer to Keysbrook. I think Pike might have just let Keysbrook out of his sights a bit too early and let that mare get away with a bit too much.
Yeah, I think with Paris Dream as well, they just want to find out a lot about this mare. Bob went to the 2,100 metres to see if she could stay and what type of turn of foot she had. Good performance behind Keysbrook. Now drops back down to the 1,600 metres. We've seen her be very competitive at this distance as well. Was second 2 starts ago behind, third behind Muskets at Dawn on that occasion, a length beaten. Blinkers go on here. Barrier 5, 54.5. William Pike's going to have plenty of opportunities to make his run, so I'm looking forward to seeing how she goes back at this distance. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to go with number 1 Eurosun, from 8 Paris Dream, 6 Socially Unique, and 9 Drive on Ice.
I'm going to go with 6 Socially Unique on top, from the 8 Paris Dream, 1 Eurosun, and 5 Countercap.
Race number 7, it is Australia. Race number 15, it is the second of the listed events at Ascot. Of course, the Challenge Stakes over 1,500 metres. What I love with this race, Mark, when taking a look at it, is the horses that I really like have drawn the car park. So you've had to really dive into the form lines.
Agree, but that also means that there should be a little bit of speed on as well, which will help all those horses to get home. And I think a few of the connections won't mind going back, see how their horses go from back in the field.
So, well, some of the speed that's going to be in the race is definitely going to be from number 2, Who Dat Singer. Has shown this in previous starts with the way that it's raced. That's the replay that we're going to take a look at now. Hasn't raced since the 23rd of December, but won the race by 5 lengths. Let's take a look at that performance.
Straight levels up, now gets the lead and kicks away from him. Who Dat Singer put a length and a half on Fremont. A further 3 Indigo Aura, Royal Supreme, Juicing Carrots in this life, but Who Dat Singer's off and gone, and with 100 left to go, it's all over, bar the shouting. Who Dat Singer drawing right away. He's opening up and he wins it by 4.5 lengths. Royal Supreme claims second on the inside.
Has won 3 of its last 5 now. As I said, hasn't raced since the 23rd of December, but this horse has a lot of class. Again, the only concern is going to be barrier 13, how much work it'll have to do to get across early. And we saw that in the Group 2 Guineas when having to cross from 16, just did too much work early on. So that's my only concern when looking at Who Dat Singer.
Yeah, knocked up on that occasion, but has since come back. It's been just super. The others to look at, Blackwood, she looks a little bit of class, the filly by Blackfriars. Arcadia Dream, those famous Peters colours. Pike on board there, and Spirit Bird, who was just narrowly touched off by Black Dynamite last start. Big weight swing this time in though. She's my top pick.
Well, let's take a look at some of those runners that you mentioned. Blackwood drawn nicely in barrier 5. Some really good form lines behind Perfect Reflection and Man Booker. The biggest key is that Blackwood's going to get a perfect run in here. Unlike Spirit Bird, the Cobbler, Who Dat Singer, who are drawn out wide, they're going to be able to be in a lovely spot and show that turn of foot. It was a little bit disappointing last start behind the Blue Nipper, where it looked as though it was just going to win comfortably down the straight, but didn't quite get there. But I'm expecting a really big performance. Arcadia Dream is the one for mine. Barrier 9, the 55 kilos. As long as they don't get too far back, this horse wasn't too far off Perfect Reflection in any of the races and had zero luck. You go through, especially in the Group 3 fillies, Joey Has a Party caught a bit of trouble there. Jordan Turner had a bit of trouble as well in the listed Burgess Queen, and the horse continued to pick up and run on strongly. So if she gets a cushy run, she is the one to beat for mine. The recent trial was good. And Spirit Bird, you mentioned a weight swing, 6 kilos on Black Dynamite for just a nose defeat. Again though, the only question here is barrier 15. Great to see Jordan Mallion riding with the 53 kilos, but where is she going to be in the run? That is the big question mark here, but her first up performance was massive. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to go with number 5, Arcadia Dream, 13, Spirit Bird, 4 in Blackwood, and 2, Who Dat Singer.
Adam, I'm going to go with the 13, Spirit Bird. I think she'll overcome the wide barrier. I've got the 13 on top of the 4, Blackwood, 3, Black Dynamite, 5, Arcadia Dream.
Race number 8 at Ascot. It is Australia race number 17. It is over the 1200 metres and a pretty impressive bunch here. Some good form lines. Lenience has been racing well. Gigante, Mickey Tuto, Cerise, but couldn't help but be impressed with Regal Commander last start.
In building an impressive record here, Adam. That's the replay horse, and we'll have a look at it here.
King Closet, Peninsi, Tiger Pete, Crown Lawyer, Mickey Tutos in the straight, and Benito on the inside. Jazz Park, Regal Commander got out of a pocket and hit the front, but joining in on the outside, Fly Tico and Volkov as well. It's Regal Commander in front, Volkov and Fly Tico trying to pick him up. Regal Commander's in front though, and Regal Commander has got home for a good first up win over.
It was a really good performance there by Regal Commander. We interviewed Adam Durant earlier on the day and he just said this race wasn't for it, and I remember having it out of my top 4 on this occasion and thought the same thing from barrier 8. Thought they'd be too far back, trying to run on and just run out of ground, but all of a sudden the horse jumped well, sat behind the leader, and after that the race was well and truly over, winning by a half length over Volkov. The question mark now again, barrier 14, so they are going to have to go back, but from what I saw with that first up performance, and like Adam Durant mentioned, if this horse wasn't ready for that race, if it's ready now, there's some serious question marks on how these other horses are going to beat it.
Won't be an issue, the barrier. I think, like you said, it's first up, flew home from the back, and I think it'll be a similar sort of scenario here. Got Lenience as well, the 2. Was fair in the listed Scenic Blast last start, I thought. Just not far away from them, but can definitely be thereabouts again.
Yeah, it's been racing really well. When you look at the last 5 performances, hasn't finished any worse than 5th. The form lines behind Ron's Cool, Secret Nova, Volkov, and as you mentioned, beaten only 3 lengths behind Red Aura in the Scenic Blast. That's a really good performance. Drops back down in class now, has to carry the weight, but does have a pretty good track and distance record. I really think Lenience can play a part, especially from barrier 7.
Yeah, very good record. Also, we've got Gigante, who was okay last start, but again had a chance and was very good behind Secret Nova last week.
Yeah, he's been up and down so far this campaign. Obviously, his race over the 1200 up to the 1400, dropped back to the 1000. And it was the 1000 metres that got him beat last start. Just needed that extra distance. Gets it here over the 1200 metres. Jason Brown jumps back on board, barrier 6. I think out of all of the ones I like, Gigante's going to have the best run in the race, and that makes me think it'll be very hard to beat. Let's take a look at the selections, though. I'm going to go with number 8, Regal Commander, from 5, Gigante, 2, Lenience, and 7, Mickey Tutos.
Yeah, Adam, I've got the 2 Lenience on top as well. On top of the 5, Gigante, 9, Classical Prince, and 8, Regal Commander.
It's time now to take a look at the best bets for the card, and I'm going to focus on the same colours. Race 1, number 4, Atacama Sky, and also race 3, number 2, Tonto.
Adam, it's hard to go past Atacama Sky in race 1, number 4. I've also got race 6, number 6, Socially Unique.
Okay, so Socially Unique, your second best bet there. Of course, you can follow us on all social media paths here at Perth Racing, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and perthracing.com.au for more event information. Mark, hopefully you found a couple more winners. Enjoyed your time again on Box Seat, I hope.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam.
We'll be back again next week with another edition.